it? Yeah, it's time for a vlog. Chernobyl vlog! It is time for a vlog today. I am going for a bike ride. So there's two lads that are training with me here. James Cox and Seymour Pecker. I don't think they're real names. But they're young kids, they're in their 20s, they're super enthusiastic about life. So I'm just trying to tell them that it's calm down. It's not that good. So we're gonna go for a bike ride. They're good kids. One of them was an ex-football player, and the new guy is Canadian, James, and then Seymour's German, and he's studying design, but really doesn't want to do it. So he's big into making videos and shit like that. So we're gonna ride to Capodera, yeah, and back, and we're gonna stop for lunch. I have a route planned in. I'm gonna bring the drone. Gotta get out on the mountain bike. First I gotta stretch, do my mobility stuff first, and then jump into it. So I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I went out, and I got a new camera. This yoke here, it's in a cage. It's magnetic. It's the Osmo Action, so it's gonna stick on my chest. And then I'm gonna bring the drone. I haven't brought the drone out for a while, so I'm gonna bring that out and have some fun. Have some fun with the lads. Yeah, they're gonna video as well, so they'll have their own little fun thing. So I have a couple of videos coming up. More talking the camera shit, but this one's just me hanging out, riding the bike. So if you're not into riding bikes, fuck off. Got a headwind.
What's up?
All good.
It's got the fully on.
Oh yeah, well we know. We're gonna do it, aren't we?
Oh, and you got the Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, baby.
Yeah.
It's a long way home. It's a long way home, James. Worst flight of the day.
Every time.
How's the spin?
Oh, pretty dang awesome, I must say.
Don't look at the camera.
Shoot, that's pretty decent. It's a hell of a good time.
Good time, wasn't it?
Yeah, real great.
See you tomorrow,
Yeah. Tomorrow, Monday.
Good fucking time, dude.
It's time for a sunset.
Whole day.
6 bells.
All
Six
day.
bells.
This is 10.
Let's have some sayings, man.
Alright, see you on the battlefield tomorrow.
Yeah.
Alright, so 4 hours 49 of riding. I think I've been on the bike for about 8 hours. Kilometre of climbing. Max speed 61. Distance 68. Down. Long day on the bike. Cheers. That turned into a long ride today. Ended up being nearly dark when I got back to the dojo. It was after 6 o'clock. So we went out for, it was a good 8 hours, I think. 8.5 hours. But we stopped for lunch and we stopped to have a look at the beach and I stopped to wash the bike on the way back. And it was just a good all round fun day. I really enjoyed it. It's been a while since I've been on. It's a long time since I rode to Carpetera. I had a look on my previous routes and I can't remember the last time I rode it. It's gotta be over a year, 2 years. Anyway, it was great. It was great to see the guys see places that they're never gonna see normally. And it took me a long time to find those little routes, so I enjoyed it. They're a funny couple of kids. They're like early 20s. James is a confident guy, articulate, interesting guy. And then Seymour asked me a lot of questions, which is good because sometimes I haven't heard those questions for a while. Like he asked me one today. We were having lunch and he asked me this question today. And it was we were talking about like who you look up to. You know, like when you're a kid, you look up to, you have these idols or you have these people that you look up to. Like say for instance you're into a sport. Mine was cycling, so I looked up to guys that won the Tour de France, like Stephen Roach, like Sean Kelly. Like they were gods. And we were talking about that, and he said to me, "Who do I look up to now?" And I couldn't think for. I was thinking, who do I look up to now? I don't look up to anybody. And I suppose that just comes with age and maturity and meeting a lot of people that you would have aspired to be like. And then when you meet them, they're not different to you or me. And then also, the reason why you look up to people is for guidance, for inspiration, for knowledge, for things. And I think I've gathered enough knowledge while I've been alive to realise now, only today, that I just don't look up to anybody anymore. There's no one I go, I want to be more like him. Now there's a lot of shit I need to fix with myself. Fucking hell. I mean, where do you start? But I'm confident that I can do that. Whereas I suppose, those guys are in their 20s and you're still trying to find your way in the world. I mean, you're not an adult that long, really. And I kind of came up with this synopsis that, like, your mid-20s is like your midlife crisis, because your parents' age, they were married with kids all through their 20s and 30s, and it's only when they stopped and the kids grew up, when they got to 40, they kind of asked themselves, what have I done with my life? I think a lot of the kids now, they get that in their early 20s, mid-20s. I found I got it like 28. Like, I'm fucking 28, Jesus Christ, what have I done with my life? I'm nearly 30, and then you get to 30, it's like, oh, what the? It's no big difference, But yeah, it was interesting. I had this dream a few days ago, and it was very vivid. It was like somebody asked me about time, and you know the way time goes fast, sometimes it goes slow other times, and what's that about? And in the dream I was explaining to him about, you know, when you were a kid, time was endless. You know, you had these summers that went on and on and on, because everything was new, everything was fresh, everything was just like wow, you know. And then as you become this adult, you get a job and you have this 9 to 5, and you repeat the same week over and over again, and you live for the weekend. You can't wait for Tuesday to get to Wednesday, you can't wait, and you're wishing time boy, and it's just all of a sudden it's 5 years are gone. And I think a lot of it comes down to adventure, and I was explaining when I was dreaming about I'm going to do more adventures. And when you're away on an adventure, even like today, it was like a day, but it felt like when I got back the whole world had changed, you know. But it was only like 8 hours, but it felt like a lot longer because it was all new and it was fresh, and a few little scary bits and a few little things. But I think when you start to do adventures, or you start to do projects, or you start to push yourself a little bit, where you're coming up with ideas, time, you get more in your time, if you know what I mean. So my next adventure will be coming up shortly, because the 15th of March, which is in a week or two, is the equinox. And equinox is when the day is equal to the night, and then after that you've got an extra minute per day, so the days get longer. So I'm gonna go. I was gonna go to Lisbon right down, but that's on that west coast. It's windy, it's cold, you know. Porto, same thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go south, stay on the south coast, go to Spain, get the train down, and have a gravel bike coming. So when that comes next month, I'm gonna ride 300k over 3 days, 2 nights, camp out, make an adventure of it, and it'll feel like a long time, because when shit goes wrong you got to fix it, right? So and then also it's Milky Way season. The core, the center of the galaxy, is visible from March till September, and I'm gonna go out and photograph that and do some more time lapses, because there's only very few days in the month where you can do it, obviously when there's no moon, or if the moon is set or whatever. But it comes up now on the south coast, you're going to get a low arch, and I'm going to go out and photograph that in the next whenever the next no moon is, new moon or whatever. I think it's in about 10 days time, so I'm going to do that. So that's the next little project. That's it. Yes, I'm not tired after the day, because it wasn't a hard session, but it was just nice being out there, and it was nice hanging out with 2 young kids that I wouldn't have met of only for this place. You know, they came in to do the fundamentals course, and they did the MMA, and they did the jiu-jitsu, and they get on great. So it was good to go out and hang out with them for the day, and see life through a 20-something's eyes, which, you know, I haven't done for a while. So I enjoyed it. It was fun. That was it. So that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. There was a bit of drone footage and all that, so we're going to get the drone up a little bit more and create a little bit more, and a couple of projects lined up. So that's it. So Hare Krishna, Namaste, we are all one. Hare Krishna.